Hello, welcome back to the channel. In this video we will discuss about introduction to arrays. In this series of data structures, previously we have seen what is data structure and what is data information and how the data structures are there, what are the types of data structures that we have been discussed. So right, in this video we will be discussing about a linear data structure which is known as your arrays. As we have already previously discussed it, that we have two types of data structures, that is linear data structures and non-linear data structures. In linear data structure, the data is stored in sequential fashion, that is in continuous memory locations. Like non-linear, it is stored in the random way that we have already discussed. So right, array is the one of the linear data type here. So let us go and see what is an array exactly, how to create an array, what are the different ways to create these arrays in your Java programming language that we will be covering in this video. Right, let us first let me introduce to an array. An array is a container object that holds a fixed number of values in a single type. So see, for example, let us assume that you want to just write create a variable. Then what you are going to do, you are just going to create a variable like int. Okay, you are going to create a variable with the name int a, right? So this is going to store only one particular value here. So right, but I want to store more values. What I want to do, I want to store more values here. Okay, not only one value, so I want to store the more values in my application. In that case, what we can do is, with the same name, you can create a container which can store the multiple values like 10, 20, 50, whatever the number of values you want, that can be collected. Right, an array is also known as a collection of related data items. What do you mean by related data items is, for example, you want to create an integer array. Okay, integer array will be storing the numbers like, for example, 10, 20 and 30. So in this way the data can be stored. For example, if you want to create a floating point array, okay, then you can create like float. Okay, so 10.5, okay, 20.45, like this. What you can do is, you can create a floating point array, means a collection of related items. You can also create a string like a. Okay, next one is like b. Okay, like this also you can create a string array there, which is a related data item. So this is what known as a related data items, right? So that is how you can create the basic array. And these arrays are commonly having a single name, that is, it has a common name, but the values are differentiated with the help of your index value, that we will see further. Each item in an array is called as an element. Okay, one element, as I told you that an array has multiple values, it can store multiple values. Each element that it stores is known as an element, and each element is accessed by its numerical index value. How we call, just like for example, in a class, let us assume there are 100 students are there. How we can call them? By using some roll number, right? So index value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this index value will be there. But thing here you need to understand is, generally the array index starts with 0, okay, and it ends with by n minus 1 value, where n is the size of your array. Means, for example, if you declared an array of size 5, so your last value will be 4, because 5 minus 1, that is 4. You have created an array of 100, then your last value will be 99, because it starts with 0, right? So 0 will be the first value and 99 will be the 100th value. So right, so that is what the first thing. Okay, then comes to the second thing, this is the representation of your array, right? This is what the representation of your array. So this is what the representation of your array. In this representation, you can see, so it is divided into blocks. Each block is known as for one particular element here. Okay, this is for the first index, this is for the last index. So if I created a int array of like 10, then what I can do is so I can create a integer array, int array of, okay, for example, if I create it as array of 10, okay, so if I create it as array of 10, so then I can store these particular 10 values here, right? Understand? So that is what the thing. So next one is, let us go for the next point, so that is index value and how the index will be there. So different ways, so we can see the create the arrays. Here in the first example we can see we create an array of your byte data type, short data type, long data type, float data type, double data type, boolean data type, character and string. Okay, all these are the different data types that are available in Java, so we can create the different arrays of different particular data types that we want. So now the question is how we can create these particular arrays, right? There are three basic steps in creating an array. The first step is known as your this step, that is your creating an array. So next one is your initializing an array, and third one is your accessing an array. What do you mean by creating an array? Is creating is nothing but, so you have to declare an array in your for this is declaration, declare an array in your program that I'm going to create this particular array. Next one is initializing, as assigning some value to those particular memory locations. So in the first step what happens, a memory location will be allocated for your array. Whatever you are creating, a memory location will be created here. In second steps what happens, for the same memory location the values will be assigned. So for example, first value, second value and the third value will be assigned here, right? So means some values will be initialized into this particular array. Third one is nothing but, now your memory is having some values, you can read these values to your program. Let us assume this is your program. So from this program you can send the data to this particular memory location. From this memory location you can also read the data to your program for accessing. This process is known as accessing of your array. So we can generally do this with the help of a for loop that we will see further, right? So that is about the basic three steps of creating an array. Next one is, when you come to arrays, there are two types of arrays. One point I want to discuss here is, so types of arrays, there are two types of arrays are there. That is, first one is your single dimensional arrays, and next one is your multi-dimensional arrays. Okay, single dimensional arrays are nothing but one dimension they are represented, like generally in the form of a row they will be represented. Multi-dimension means we can represent the arrays in the multiple dimensions, like for example we can represent the data in the form of your rows. This is your rows, and also we can represent in the form of your columns. Okay, right? So those are the two ways multi-dimensional array. That is two-dimensional array. Out of the multi-dimension, again we have two-dimensional array. So further we also have like a 3-dimension, 4-dimension and n-dimension of arrays can be created here. So that is a brief introduction to the arrays. Next we'll see how to create an array, initialize an array, and also to the accessing an array, right? One way to create an array is with the help of the new operator. Okay, right? So for example, you can just write an array, you can declare an array and a new int of 10, so that a 10 elements memory will be allocated if then object name an array. Okay, and now once the array is created, means for example here it will be creating a memory location of 10 particular arrays here. So right, so for example 1, 2, like this until 9 elements it will be there. So it starts with your 0 value and it ends with your 9 value, right? So this is the values, these are the values will be available here. So now first step is completed, that is creating an array. So okay, generally what we can do here is we can initialize, just we can write the syntax. I will show you like further how to create a simple array. Okay, now let us go and see how to initialize the elements. So you can initialize in two different ways. That is initialization is of two types. If you go here, so initialization is of two types. That is, first one is static initialization, another one is your dynamic initialization. In static initialization what we are doing is we are declaring itself in the program, whereas dynamic initialization we will read the data from the user, right? So for every execution the data will be changing, so initialized values will be changing from each and every particular initialization, every execution, right? So now coming to this is how we can initialize the value. At the 0th value I want to store 100, 1 I want to store 200, at the 2 300, so on. I will be storing the values. Now accessing, how in this memory the data is there, how I want to access is an array of 0. If I call, then I can access the 0th element and I can print that one. Okay, if you want to add some 10 value to this 0 element, what I can do is array of index of 0 plus 10 I will write it here. So for this index value 10 will be added and same will be printed here. Okay, I want to calculate get the square of this particular number, I can just write an array index of this one into again that particular value. So whenever I do multiplication, then square value will be printed. Similarly, you can print a cube or whatever the manipulation you want to do, you can do for that particular data. So right, that is the second thing. So how to create an array, single dimensional array, initialize an array, that is static initialization, and the third one is like your how to access that particular element here. Okay, so since we have say limited number of elements, we can use here like this. So for example, if you don't have limited numbers, no, then we have to use a loop there. Okay, that we will see further. So now let us assume that we have a not only single dimensional array, we do also have some multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional array, I already told you that if you have more than one dimension, then we call it as a multi-dimensional array. So this may be a two-dimensional array, it may be a three-dimensional array, or it may be a n-dimensional array. Those arrays can be there. Okay, this example we will see further. So now important thing is what are the different operations that we can perform on an array. That is, first one is we can copy the contents of one array to another array. You can insert an element at any particular position to the array. For example, copying content is nothing but, for example, let us assume that there is one array is there. So this array is having elements like three elements are there. So 1, 2 and 3 elements are there. So now I want to copy this content to the another array. I will be creating another array with the name same size, but with like a different name, and I want to copy the content. This 1, 2, 3 content I want to copy from this array to this array. This is one of the operation. Insert is nothing but, for example, I already have an array. I want to insert a particular specific value into this an array. So that is also another operation. At a given position I want to insert the element, so then I also can insert the element. So similarly, I want to delete some element at a given particular position, that also we can do. That is known as your delete operation. Merge is nothing but, let us assume that I have these two arrays. This is array A and this is my array B. Right, this is my array B. I want to merge the contents of these both the arrays into a third array. Then I can also do the merge. I can concatenate these two both arrays and we can do. And search is nothing but, let us assume that I have a target element T1. I want to search in this array whether this element is available or not. So this T is available here, here or here. It is available or not there. To check that, that is a last operation, that is your search operation. These are some basic operations that can be performed in an array. Right. Let us see some implementation in your Visual Studio Code. Before that, I will be telling you some syntaxes, how to do the syntaxes, that we will see. So right, like we are discussing, as I told you, that data structures, and out of that we have discussed about your arrays. Already told you single dimensional, multi-dimensional. Right, again in multi-dimensional you have two-dimensional arrays, and we do have like three-dimensional arrays and n-dimensional arrays. Okay, so when creating any of these particular arrays, three steps are there. That is, first one is initialization, declaration, second one is initialization, and third one is accessing of an array. Okay, so let us go and see first a declaration part. So for example, if you want to declare an array, so this is syntax, like this is the basic syntax for your declaration. So first you have to specify the type def. Okay, type def is nothing but data type of that one. Next one is name of array, and then we have to say the parenthesis. Okay, equal to new. Okay, int, that is equal to type def again, type of parenthesis, and here you have to specify the size value. So this is how the declaration will be done. We'll write some examples. Examples are like, for example, I want to create an array. The array is like int is my type, and array is the name, and then I have a array symbol, and next is equal to new. So int type, and of 5 elements I want to create. So this is one. So similarly, I want to create an array of string or character array 1, or for example character name, okay, equal to new character of 10 or 100. So in this way an array will be created. Similarly, let us assume that I want to create an array of double salary equal to new double double of like 25 people are there, so I will create 25 salaries. So these are the way how you can declare an array. So right, so how it is clear how you can declare an array. Next one is initialization. As I told you that we have two types of initialization. First one is static initialization, and the second one is your dynamic initialization. Static initialization is, for example, let us assume that we have an array like int, okay, array, okay, of equal to, I will be writing like 10 comma 20 comma 30. Okay, so this is known as a basic static initialization, right? So here you can replace it with a small I. Okay, so there is a int array is equal to in the program itself we are going to initialize this particular elements here. For example, like this is for the basic declaration, static we also can also declare like this also. So for example, if I already have an array, okay, I will take in the third salary, I will take, so salary of 0 equal to 25, salary of 1 equal to 44, something. Okay, in this way also we can declare in the program itself. If we have some value that will not change during the course of execution, then such type of values are known as our static values, and these are static initialization. Despite of this, we also have a dynamic initialization. So in dynamic initialization, what happens, we can read the data, right, from a particular keyboard, right, input device, that is we can read from the keyboard. So in this way, for example, I will create an array with the name a equal to new int of 3, right? So I want to read the data. I will create a scanner object. You know how to create a scanner, right? S is equal to new scanner of system.in. okay, so I can read, for example, I will initialize a loop here for int I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. Okay, just I will be creating a loop. In this loop we are going to read the a of I value, a of I equal to s dot next int. Okay, in this way I am going to read the value. So what happens in this code, in this piece of code, so every time when I run the program, again I am going to take the new values. Again, every time I am going to take the new values for my array, right? First time the user may enter like 10. Okay, he may enter like 10, 5, 4 and 3. So next time he may enter like 1, 3, 8. So different values can be inserted here. This is what known as a dynamic initialization. Hope you understand what is the static initialization and a dynamic initialization. So right, so that is all about your basic initialization. Next one is, third one is accessing of an array. How to access an array? So you need to use a loop here. So whatever the loop here you are using, this is what used to access an array, like whatever the array you are creating. So if you want to access this, for example, I want to print the output, system dot out dot print, so of a of I, right? So simply we can write it, sorry, a of I, right? So in this way accessing will be done. Initially I value will be equal to, I value will be 0, so it will be go inside 0 less than, okay, same 0 less than 3, condition is true, so it will go inside print a of I value. So sorry, it is coming, prompt it is coming, I value will be 0, a of 0 value, what is a of 0 value? 1, so it will be printing 1 here, right? So 1 it will be printing. So next one is a of 1 value, that is equal to 3, so it will be printing 3. Next one is a of 2 value is 8, so it will print. Next again I value becomes 3, so 3 less than 3, condition fails, so it will be coming out. Similarly for reading the data, this is to read the data from your program to memory. This is to read from the memory to your program. So this process is known as your accessing of your arrays, right? So this is how the basic operations will be done on an array. So these are the basic things that are on your array. Clear? Hope it is clear that what are the steps in creating an array. This is applicable for same for the two-dimensional array. So but only difference is a two-dimensional array has like int a is equal, if you take a again, so then we will have two particular subscripts. One subscript is for the rows, another subscript is for the columns, equal to new int, okay, of sizes. Here you can specify I want to create a 2 by 2 matrix, and then here we can create it simply. So here what will be the values? 1 2 3 4. So like this a matrix will be created, okay. 2 rows and 2 particular columns. 2 rows will be there and 2 columns will be created here. So how to initialize this one? So this is how you can create an array, right? So this is the way how you can create an array. So just you can declare like this. So if you declare like this, so then it will be creating an array of 2 dimensions. So next step is to initialize. If you want to initialize it, what we can do is simply you can go here. So int a equal to, so for rows we can create a curly parenthesis 1 comma 2, close it, comma 3 comma 4, okay, close it. So a equal to 1 comma 2 3 comma 4 here. So in this way we just we are going to initialize, static initialization. Similarly for dynamic initialization you can do it. So if you want to do a dynamic initialization, you can take this piece of code. So this piece of code can be taken here. So similarly what we will do, we'll just take like instead of, already we have 2 elements, right? We are going to take 2 elements. So what we will do here, we will minimize this one to 2, okay. And then what we will do here, for reading columns, we will take again int j equal to 0, j less than 2, and j plus plus. This is used to read the columns, right? So instead of a of I of j, will be reading s dot next dot int. So in this case what happens, so this will be reading the data. Initially I value will be 0 and 0 less than 2, condition is true, so it will enter inside. So it will come here j equal to 0, j less than 2, and j plus plus, right? So here initially j value will be 0, so I will write it here, I will equal to 0 first initially, and here j equal to 0. So sorry, j equal to 0. So 0 0 value, what is the 0 0 value? This is the 0 0 value. If you take this as a index value, so if you take this as a 0 value, 0 index, this is first index, this is 0 index, and 0 0 0 value, this is the 0 0 value, right? So this 0 value can be taken here. So it will print the 1 value here. So it will read the 1 value here, and next it will read for the 2 value, next it will read 3 value, and next it will read the 4 value, okay. In this way the value will be written. So initially j is equal to 0, 0 0 value will be written as 1, 0 1 value will be taken as 2, and then the loop fails here. Again the I value will be incremented by 1, again j value will be initialized to 0, 1 0 value will be taken, 1 0 value like 3 will be readed, and 1 value will be there, in the 4 will be taken. So after that this condition fails again, and this condition fails again. That is for the end of your loop. Similarly if you want to read the data from the memory, so what is available, you can just write this one, and instead of this statement what we can do simply here, so instead of this one you can just write a prompt output, system dot out dot print line of, you just write like this. So it will be taking less syntax in this problem, editor problem. So a of just replace it with a small a. So again it will print like initially 0 0 1 will be printed, 0 1 2 will be printed, 1 0 3 will be printed, 1 1 4 will be printed, right? This is how we can access a two-dimensional array. So what you learned in this video is what is an array, what are the types of an array, what are the steps in creating an array, that is like a declaration of array, initialization of array, and types of initialization, that is static initialization and dynamic initialization, and the third one is accessing of an array, right? So we can also write different operations on that. So further we will see what are the different operations. Just you can create a simple operations, like you can create similarly this you can take a one-dimensional array and you can create let us assume that we have this particular code here, right? So we have this particular code, so we'll just copy the contents of one particular array. So a of I is there already, it has some data value like 138. Now we can write a code here, so you can copy that one into the b of I. Simply you can write the same loop and you can copy b of I is equal to like this a of I value. So let me copy this. I will show you how to copy the contents of one array to another array. So for example, if you come back here, copy contents. So copy contents, what we will do, we'll take a array a, int a equal to new, or int a equal to, we'll just take 10 comma 20. This is the array a. So I also take another array, so int b, so don't mind here it is taking capital letter, so for int, so that is a editor problem, notepad problem. So here we don't have any elements here in b, equal to, just we will declare like a new int of 2 elements. Okay, just will create it. So what I will do is I will take int I is equal to 0, I less than 2, I plus plus. Okay, instead of all this code, what I will do here is I will be taking out this one, and b of I equal to what, a of I. Just I will take the contents of a of I and take it here, and I will do it this. Just what I will do, I will print this value, that is, so system.out.println, I will print the b of I value. But also if you want, you can print the a of I value also, right? It is up to you. You can verify and you can just check that one. So similarly, for example, if I want let us assume that we have two arrays, like here I have another array, that is 30 comma 40. Okay, so this is another array for me. So now what I want to do, I want to merge these two particular arrays. So whenever I want to merge these two particular arrays, so initially I cannot if I want to merge, no, I need to have another array. So we'll merge it into the new array, that is equal to new int of some bigger size. We will be taking a bigger size element, we will be taking. So initially I equal to 0, I less than 2, I plus plus, it will be there. So what I have to copy is here c of I equal to a of I value will be copying. Initially I value this 10 and 20 will be copied here, like 10 comma 20 will be copied here. So we'll taking the same again loop, and we'll coming here, and what we are going to do, we will take I value is equal to, again we will take another loop, in another loop we will take j equal to 0, sorry, we will take again I equal to, we will start, already we have like 0 and 1 are completed, right? We have to start it with the index 2, and it should be 2 and 3 we should write, so it should be less than 4. Okay, right? So c of a is equal to a of I plus 2, right? We'll take I plus 2 value. Okay, I plus 2, right? So no need f2 value, just we can take like b of I minus 2 value we should be taking, because the index should be minimized, right? b of 0 is this 30 value, b of 1 value is this one. Since I started from 2, so I minus 2, that is equal to b of 0. What is b of 0 value? 30 will be copied into c of 2 value. What is c of 2 value? So it will become 30. c of 3 value will be becoming this one, so 4 minus 2, that is equal to 2 will be there, right? So sorry, 3 will be become 3 minus 2, that is equal to 1. b of 1 value, that is equal to 40 value will be copied into the c of 4 value. So at the 0 value it will be having 10, 20, here we will be having like 30 and 40. If you try to print this particular array, you can print the array. So you can just come here and you can just print the array. So I equal to 0, I less than 4 you can take, and I plus plus. So you can just print the C of I value. So if you print the C of I value, then it will print 10, 20, 30 and 40 will be printed here. Also, right, so this is another operation, that is your copy contents and merge the contents. Similarly, you can also search for a particular element. You can give the target element. If it just, you have to use a if condition here. So if that particular just you can use like this. So if target equal to a of I, then element is found, otherwise element is not found. In this way you can just write and you can search for a particular element. These are the basic operations of an array and we can write it. So we can practice some more problems, like how to calculate the sum of array elements. Like for example, 10, 20, 30, 40 is there. I want to calculate it as 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40. I want to calculate the squares of my elements, like 4 elements are there, 1, 2, 3, 4 are there, 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, cubes, like this. We can how to print the reverse of a particular array, reverse elements. 10, 20, 30 should be printed as 30, 20 and 10 should be printed, right? So in this way different operations can be done. Like if in 2-dimensional also we can do different operations, that you have to practice and then you can master this concept of your arrays. Hope you understand this one, what is a data structure. And you can just go to Visual Studio. Just you can go to the Visual Studio Code and you can just write these programs and you can run these particular programs. So further we will see how practically we will create another session. So in that session we will be executing only programs. So there we will see how to create all these what are code snippets that were discussed. Well, further we will work on this one, right? So hope you understand the concept of your arrays, the basic concept of your arrays, and different ways of creating arrays. Okay, if you do like this one, please you can share it with your friends and you can like this one and you can subscribe for this channel for further contents. Okay, thank you and see you in the next video. Thank you very much.